Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
And you knew when you were there.
Dance for girls and men, women. Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare state.
Everybody pulled his weight.
G.R.O. LaSalle and great. Those were the days.
Alright, YouTube, wanted to put together a video for you guys and showing you guys the load boards that I use. I have quite a few, so I'm going to try to go through this the best I can and as fast as I can, and showing you rates that are current for today's market. The last video I actually made the video, and it was during when the rates were great. So now I'm just going to show you a typical Sunday and looking into the next week what the rate's going to look like. So as you see, I have a few different load boards. I have the Coyote here, I have the DAT load board, and the Truck Stop Mobile load board at the top there, Convoy, JB Hunt, Uber Freight, CH Robinson, XPO. The hard one to get was this XPO one here. This was very hard to get. But moving right along. Let's see here where we at. Make sure we're still recording. Good. Alright. So first and foremost, I'm gonna start with this. Let's just start with the simplest one, which is Uber Freight. Okay, so it's just automatically pulled up what's next to me, the loads that's near me, and the going rates. As you can see, it shows you the miles, the deadhead to the load, and the pay. I could click on the load and it showed me the approximate locations on the map here. Then it give me the details. What I do like about the Uber load is it actually tells you the place that you're picking up right here and the place that you're delivering to. No other load board really does that. That is beneficial because if you know these places that are in your area, then you can better choose, or you could look up the reviews and see if it's something that you want to go to. Let's say if they got bad reviews, you say, I don't want to go there. But if they got good reviews, then you want to go there and you want to pick up the load. You can easily do that with the Uber load board. Okay, I'm not a fan of Uber, but what I'm gonna say about Uber is this. As of late, what I've noticed is a lot of the loads that brokers may have gotten that I work with on a regular, Uber has started to take over them loads. So it'd be nice to say, oh, I'm not ever going to pull a load for Uber and so forth and so on. But what I found is that just is not possible because they're moving in quite quickly into my market. So for instance, this is a load that a normal broker would have got me right here, and Uber's got it, and I try to go to my other broker and get it, and they don't have it anymore. So I did my damnedest to stay hell away from Uber, and I still do my damnedest to not use them for the most part, but it's becoming nearly impossible anymore. They didn't just moved in. So it is what it is at this point. But this place here I'm more than familiar with. They take forever to load sometime. I don't typically like to go there and pick it up, but the rate, as you can see, is not bad, and you can see the low miles on it. So but typically I could get that from a different broker, but not anymore because, like I said, Uber then pretty much moved in and saturated the market. So I'm just gonna browse here, And let's go to another market here. Let's go to St. Louis. I'm not going to touch every market. I got it set for any trailer, local, short, and long. So as you see here, this is St. Louis market. Started Monday. These rates do change and they do drop. So Uber might drop them one day, then raise them the next day, and on the same particular load. I've watched that happen. Let's say like this load here might drop to 760 tomorrow, you know, depending on the market. Then it might, during the closer to 3 o'clock, it might come back up to 9 something. It's just strange with Uber, very strange. Sometimes I will call them, and but usually they're not budging more than 50 bucks or so. But here you go. Let's see here. This is a refresh. You can see at the very top that load. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I'm just want to show you guys some of the rates, current rates right now. This is a Sunday. And then I'm going to go over to another market, Atlanta. Apply, and let's see what we come up with. And I'm trying to go real slow. I usually browse through this thing super duper fast. Union City to Lakeland, Florida. That would be a popular lane there. Consumer goods, 43,000 pounds, picking up from a P&G, and it's going to a Public store in Lakeland. I actually think I delivered there before. So they got that at 1085. I'm browsing a little fast, you guys, but again, like I said, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time because I want to cover a lot of different load boards here. And this video will be extremely long if I spent a whole lot of time on it. So I just want to show you guys a few. We're going to go into Tuesday. Build some more. And like I say, these rates go up and down daily. Same load. Just depending on what the market's doing. Alright. So let's do another one here. Let's do York, PA. What did I just choose? I just did Yorktown, York, PA. Obviously over east is going to have, typically has usually better rates per mile. Let's go to Amazon. This one here was and again, I would expect these rates to jump higher. This is a Sunday, and people are, what happens is just essentially they put the loads up, and just like a regular load board, okay, what happens is if you jump on this for the lower rate, then you know they just won. So they might, like for instance, this one here, it's PA to PA for $460. Now somebody that's in this area, they probably say, oh man, I get that all day long for $600, $700, $800, you know. I know the facility, I know the area, I know the lane, and they probably know this too, but they put it up early thinking, okay, we got this load up early. If they jump on it at 460, we just won. Now if they don't jump on it anytime soon, then by Monday morning, let's say by noon or 1 o'clock, that might jump up to the normal price, $100 above the normal price, $100 below the normal price. But if you're looking for further out, then what's going to end up happening, like I said, it's just going to be lower for pre-booking. So the thing is, the ideal thing is to wait these loads out. Just wait them out until basically you can turn around and get them for the higher price. The problem is it just don't happen as in a area with heavy demand. What I've noticed and what I've seen as of late, people jump on these and snatch these up really fast. I mean, this load here could be ideally $800 normally all day long. I'm just saying that. I'm not sure of this lane, but people would jump on that and snatch it up, and before you knew it, it's gone. So it's like, I don't know what it is, but maybe they see, oh, I'm getting $2.20 a mile or $5 a mile, yada yada yada, and they just leap on it instead of letting the rates and market do what it should do. But hey, that's a whole nother conversation. But let me look at another market here, and I want to show you guys something, just so you just to prove to you what I was saying. Man, I hope this video won't be too damn long. I apologize, you guys. So, a nuke of the outset like this one here. There's no way in hell I would run this load for $3.45, but I know people are doing it all damn day long, and some people going to be on here and say, why wouldn't you run that? You're getting $345. That's over damn near $8 a mile, or yada yada yada. The issue is, this is near a major city, which is Chicago. Okay, you're running from Joliet to Chicago. Okay, you're taking a load of dry food, which is probably worth $10,000, $20,000 easily, through a major city. Now you catch a flat, and you have to get that flat repaired, and you're on the side of the road. Guess how much that's going to cost you? Not that $3.45. That much I can assure you is going to be way more than that. You get in an accident and get a claim on that load. Guess how much that's going to cost you on your insurance, and in the future, way more. So your truck get damaged, somebody spin out in front of you and tear up your front end. Ask me how I know this. Guess how much that's going to cost you. So your risk and liabilities for running this freight runs way more than this. What I typically tell people is don't pull a load for no more than what you can buy a good quality tire for. And we all know a good quality tire gonna run you for about $450. Now, I'm not saying that you should never ever pull a load for this price, but what I typically try to do, if I'm gonna pull something for, like this for, and I usually get my truck minimum, which is about $425, and I might go up $450 or down a quarter. That's my truck minimum. But if I'm gonna pull something for close to that, it needs to be a broker that I work with on a regular and that I trust. Because let's say things happen. This is trucking. This just is what it is. So I'm gonna shout out Kev real quick. He lives in this area. He took one of these loads. All right. They end up getting them loaded in time. Made him late for his appointment. This was a Friday. He was supposed to deliver this load straight through. Matter of fact, I still don't know what happened with him in that load. I gotta call him and check out. But shout out to you, Kev. So and I warned Kev, as Kev can attest, about running these types of loads, because what happened is what happened in his situation. It don't always happen, but it do happen. You better believe it does happen. We're running these short miles and these short loads. What end up happening is, basically he was late. The place he was going to was closing. They didn't want to take him, and so he had to take the load back because he had two better loads, paying 3-4 times that to pick up. and he didn't want to have to sit on that all weekend. It would have screwed up all his money. Let's say he had $3,000 in loads picking up after that, but his trailer was tied up with that particular load, and he wasn't sure if it was going to get off of him or not. He's calling a broker. The broker lied to him. He's called the shipper. The shipper told him, like, nah, we're going home, yada yada yada. So Kev's was trying to take it back and see if they get it off of him. I'm not sure if they ever did, but it's just, I'm gonna just be frank with y'all, shit happens out here, and it happens more often than you might think. You know, and it's always something, especially with them little ones. It's always something going on. You think it's going to take you, an hour or two, and before you know it, the whole damn day gone. And your whole day's been wasted for what? $345. You know, it's like, no, if my day's going to be wasted, I obviously want to get the most. Now, if, like I said, you got a relationship with that broker, you work with that guy often, you're doing him a favor, by all means, work with him. But again, you have a relationship, so you could go to that broker and he's not going to spend you like typical brokers do and tell you, yeah, it's open and it's not open and so forth and so on. He's good. A good broker is going to do his due diligence to get you up out of any situation. So that's my advice to you guys on that. All right, so I showed you guys, you remember the one load. Let me see here. Let's go to Tuesday. So this is Tuesday. They got it for $830. All right. So, and that's this load here, Muscatina Manuka. All right. And let's go back and let's look further on for that same load and see what we come up with. And what you're gonna see is it's gonna be a lesser price, because again, they're trying to get this stuff covered. Like even these loads here, these are easy loads. Pleasant Prairie, this was water load, Niagara. How do I know that? Because it pays to know your area, driver. You see what it says, Niagara bottling. All right, and it's going to a Walmart. How do I know that? Because I know my lanes. So if you tell me something's going to Sterling, I know instantly that it's going to Walmart. Occasionally maybe a Menard, but Pleasant Prairie, know instantly that's water. So most of these places, when I see them come up, I know instantly what it is, because it's my business to know my lane. And another piece of advice that I could give you guys is, if it pays, okay, here we go right here, $680, and this is pre-booking Wednesday. Now you see what I'm saying? So if you pre-book early, that's almost what, damn near close to $200, $170 or so loss on this load by pre-booking early. But these loads will get snatched up. Somebody will just snatch them up. I promise you, be lucky to be one left come Wednesday. This happens all the damn time, and then you might even see it on here for Thursday for 5 something. This is what they do, and people just snatch them up, and they thirsty. They thirsty out here, drivers. That's all I could tell you. So this is what happens. And so that's pretty much the Uber board, and that's what I wanted to show you guys as far as how they do their rates and so forth and so on. Let's do San Fran. All right, so we got California to Indiana, 4,000, 10,000 pounds. Going to a Kroger in Indy. That Kroger's a very bad Kroger. The driver tells me that all the time. So you go there, you're going to be waiting for a while. But here you go, short miles. Or Colorado. And again, these rates will change during the week. By tomorrow, all these little rates can change. I promise you. This is just what you're dealing with. Looking at it early on. I'm gonna try to cover just a few different markets in a quick span. That's a reefer load. As you see, Denver don't have a whole lot. And let's go to Texas. So, alright, and let's do one more market for you guys real quick on the Uber, because I know I typically get a lot of requests for this Uber from different markets to see what it's doing. And again, I did this just out of I did this one just because most of them I did was during hot season. This is not a hot market right now. Alright, so I wanted to show y'all what a typical low board looks like, or what I should say, typical offers. Alright, so that's it for Uber. I'm gonna go ahead and go over to Coyote. Let's see how long I am. My God, 20 minutes just on Uber, not good. Alright, I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit more. So let's see, custom search. This is Coyote low board. I'm gonna do a current location. I'm gonna do 350 miles. And I'm gonna start with today, which I know it's not gonna be anything, 53 foot. And as you see with Coyote, they give you the option for van, reefer, flatbed, or power only. I'm gonna do a search. Then I'm gonna go to tomorrow, and here we have what they're offering. And I see these all damn day long. And they get them covered for that, if not less, all damn day long. And typically if a broker calls or I call on that low, he said, I get this cover for that. I said, I'm pretty sure you do. You probably get it covered for a hell of a lot less. I don't doubt it, because I know what's going on out here. I see it all the damn time. But don't mean I'm going to be running that shit. So I'm going to let them guys run it. Eventually that DEF and DPF and all that shit going to catch up with their ass. So for instance, like here go low right here, Manuka to Streetsboro, Ohio. This Coyote don't necessarily give you the place. They just give you the time and the location and the weight, and then what they require. And all these places are requiring more and more, getting stricter and stricter. 10 years into a trailer, this, that, and the other. Even though they're going to go in your trailer and try to rip it apart when they unload you or load you. They want all these damn requirements, and they want to pay you to lease this particular lane. I could get over there for easily 15, you know, and easily 1,500, you know. So this is typical here, Muscatine to Deerfield Beach, Florida. It's about 33. That's typical. All right. What else we got here? And I'm gonna speed along. Let's do another location. Let's do Atlanta. And I'm just browsing the board for you guys, just to show you guys some of the options and so forth and so on. Let's see, Fort Pierce, Florida, 546 miles. £20,000, 1,500. Let's go back up. All right, let's change location. Let's go where we want to check out now. Let's check out, all right, let's do York, PA again. And I'm just going to do drive-in for the most part. Look at Tuesday. Alright, let's go back, change the search, just to give you an idea on the power only. Let's go St. Louis. No, I would say Hebron, Kentucky would be the better. Let's try St. Louis. Let's see here, power only. There we go. So this is a power only on a Coyote app. And here we go. So from St. Louis to Miami, 31. That's pretty damn good on the power only. But it's always some sort of catch. Look at that weight on that. So, shit. You better have a very light truck. These rates are about right for power only. Typically what I've noticed with power only, and I've done it for quite a while, they pay about $1.80 a mile. That's typically what you get from the power only. Now you're in the Midwest, you're going to get a little bit more than that. As you can see here, that these loads are usually $2 and some change a mile, but typically power only averages about $1.80 a mile. And I could go through a whole bunch of load boards to prove my point, but that's just is what it is. You gotta trust me on it. So we're gonna go to Convoy next. We're just gonna see what they're offering. I will say this about Convoy app. I actually prefer Convoy. You could file for detention through the app. You can just do a lot with Convoy. I actually like Convoy a lot. Kev got me using this heavily. At one point during the summer, I was using them very heavily. But as of late, it seems their loads then hasn't been as abundant as it used to be. And then their pricing has been somewhat on the low end. So for instance, like this load here, this St. Louis, more than likely, I can tell you all day long, this is beer. They got it for $820. That's just like that plain Jane rate to go there, 43,000. What I tell you, beer. Pays to know your lane, driver. Pays to know your lane. So it's an Anheuser-Busch. I already know that. They don't have to put that up there. I just know, just like I know that Wright City, Missouri is a Coca-Cola. I know this Vandalia, Ohio is a P&G. Just is what it is. Food grade trailer. Shipper requires, and you see all the restrictions and stuff that they require, right? But the cool thing about their board is that I like Convoy. They're just easier to deal with. Just that they just are. I mean, I don't got no other way to put it than that. They're just very easy to deal with. The brokers are usually pretty damn cool, and they know what these loads are. They know what these loads go for on a typical. So if I was to bid on this, I can accept now, which I won't, but I could bid on it, and I could put a bid in for, let's say, like this lane should, what I would want out of something like that would be about 1,300, and then I could hit submit bid. They're gonna get it covered for probably about 9, if not 790. People just snatch them up, but that's what that lane will typically. It's what it can pay. I'm gonna put it like that. That's, it may be I'm trying to max it out, but I know that lane can get up to that, and they're gonna say, oh, we don't normally pay nothing but about 9 and this, that, and the other, and then I'm gonna end up getting it for about 12.50, somewhere in there. But I'm going ahead and remove that bid, so I'm gonna have cancel and hit yes. That's Convoy though. Let's look for some loads. Let's go to Atlanta. And let's just do it all right? And let's sort it by pickup date. And like I said, these rates are pretty low on here, but I rarely take the offered rate on Convoy, hardly ever, to be honest with you. I almost always submit a bid, and I know Kev submits bids too. He used this board like crazy. Yeah, this is what he does. All right, so that's that. I don't know which this is. This is a van load. 1360. Running from Georgia to Houston, Texas. And I'm not sure how heavy they are over into California, but let's look. San Fran. This is just gonna be a drawn out video. I thought I could move along pretty fast, but it's hard to show all these damn late low boards and make it quick. So bear with me. I don't think the average person is gonna be watching this video anyway. This is somebody who's either already has their authority and booking their own loads, or someone who's interested, heavily interested in doing so, that will stick through to this time frame. All right, California to Arizona, California to Arizona, Cali to Cali, 580, 200. Wow, that's horrible. But again, typically what I come to know is most people do not take the load that price that offer. Almost everyone submits a bid. Let's go down Orlando, 300, and let's just, I'm gonna leave reefer in there. Nothing. Let's try What area haven't I done so far? Did I do Dallas on here? No, it's the Dallas bid only. And I believe sometimes with the bid only, they're just trying to get a rate. They may have a customer or whatever. It's a lot of bid only. Don't go underbidding yourself there, drivers. Alright, so that's Convoy. Now we're going to go into JB Hunt. I don't like JB Hunt load board, I'm going to be honest with you. For one, if I was to pick up my phone like I'm doing now and I get to moving it around with my hand, it won't let me in, you know. So it's the text motion and you can't turn it off or anything, and so what ends up happening is you can't browse loads. So I actually put an offer in. So as you see, it shows right here. You can see my offer was 1100. Lowest offer so far was 950. They offering at 823. They typically hardly ever down budge. So somebody's gonna haul that for right about what they need. And actually, that load picks up by 3. So good luck to them. So let's go St. Louis. If you notice, I'm going to St. Louis a lot because that's my lane. So I can better tell you guys if the rate is correct, if the rate is off, so forth and so on. So this is how it looks. Like, this is retarded. I mean, I could literally get this load for 3,000 easily, and they're always low with the JB Hunt. I just not a fan of theirs. Yeah, I think you just do better really just working with a broker directly if you can get their ass on the phone most of the time. So this is a $3,000 load all day long, and look at the offers that they got right here for just that. And that's a fair offer, that 3140. That is a fair offer, I guarantee you. Now this would be about right. Okay, about $2,000. That ain't too terrible. This is not too far from St. Louis, but the thing about this area and why they probably offering it for that price is it's damn hard to get a truck up to Quincy. It's just not a good area because it sits close, not too far from St. Louis, and St. Louis is a better market. So most drivers, their dispatchers, gonna, why go to Quincy when I could get them their same, if not better rate right there from St. Louis, and I don't have to go there. And so typically that's Quincy for you. It's a bad location to post a load, in my opinion, or to have if you was a broker. It's not a good location. I mean, like this load here, Quincy to Galesburg, that's going to General Mills. And what's the weight on that? That's more than likely that's a water load, and that's 574. And that thing could get all the way up to 800, 900, 1,000 quite easily. They could wish they can cover it for 574 Quincy is a very hard market because it sits that close to freaking St. Louis. And typically what ends up happening is sometimes I get calls on Quincy loads, and I tell them if I go down there, because it's 3 hours from me, if I go down there to grab it, you ain't gonna like my rate. So Evansville to Sterling, that's just horrible. This is $800-900 all day long. But this is JB Hunt, and this is typical of JB Hunt. And I just, like I said, you could go back and forth bidding with these guys, and they don't move much. And I'm not a big fan of they low board, especially because, like I said, if I get to moving my phone around any bit, walking or anything, immediately this board's going to lock up and say, oh, we detect motion, and no, you can't use it while you're driving. And it just pisses me off. I might be in a passenger seat and riding, and I just can't browse the board until it stops. So Atlanta to Jacksonville, book 9,000. And JB Hunt do got the freight. I will say that much about them. They got plenty of damn loads. But you'll be doing a hell of a lot of negotiating with them to get that great rate that you need, in my opinion. And then another thing I don't care for about their board is that they don't typically have the correct times up here. So there's certain facilities that I know, let's say like this one here, it's picking up out of Grand Prairie, Texas. And I know it's only one facility out there, and I know they're by appointment, you know. And then they're going to say, they're going to have this range of time on here, like 4 p.m. to 11 to midnight. And I'm like, nah, they're by appointment only. So you're going to get out there, and it's, man, it'll be a real nightmare real fast, let me tell you that. And it just depends on the broker who has the load. If they did their due diligence, is setting that appointment time and so forth and so on. But it's JB Hunt, and I'm not going to browse them too much more. I'm going to look in one other location. I'm just not a big fan of their board. I check it out, and I'm always, as you can see, browsing multiple boards, because that's what I do. I'm the low board stalker. Alright, that's JB Hunt. And now I'm going to show you guys the DAT board. CH Robinson is just, it's not even worth browsing this board. Shit, I don't know what the fucking password is for this. Let's try something here. Let's try St. Louis. I really don't use their board hardly ever. Whatever, let's do that then. Come up with some loads, I'll show you guys, but I typically don't browse CH Robinson. Oh boy, it's a broker that I work with directly, and I just deal with him. I really just don't care for CH Robinson. Their rates are usually just not good, and then they should be super heavy, and I just don't prefer them at all. They do have some cool brokers if you could find one, work with, you know, but to browse their board, I just don't do it at all. It's not worth my time. So if it's not worth my time, it's not worth you guys' time. So let's go to XPO. This was by far the hardest board to get next to Amazon. And again, this was by far the hardest board for me to get on. I was trying to get on a board for damn near a year at least. So this is the map. You can select it to see what loads in that area. Let's back up. Let's find another market. St. Louis. There's no rates on here. Some over there do have rates, but as you can see as of now, they really don't. What I would say about XPO board, it's a decent board, got a lot of different features, a lot of different options, very hard to get on. It's not something that I browse on a regular just because it's just not as user friendly as Convoy. In my opinion, Convoy have the best board. And then comes let's say Uber Freight will come in next, and the only reason Uber comes in close to that is just because, again, they show you the shipper and stuff that you're picking up from, so you have an idea what you're getting yourself into before you bid. With this one here, it's a decent enough board if you used to running XPO Freight, which there's been times where I run nothing but XPO for a week straight. XPO, in my opinion, is one of the top brokers out there. And again, in my experience, if I didn't got an extra great paying load on how many ever miles, it's because it more than likely it was with XPO. So I'm gonna just do a quick search. But certain brokers just pay very well. XPO is one of them brokers. Another one of them brokers is Pepsi. Pepsi pays very well. 8 a.m. pickup. So that's for the morning. So I just did a search. 450 mile radius of Silvis, Illinois. 210.7. I'm gonna go ahead and do through the 8th. And as you see, it say 80 on pickup. That load is for the morning, but they posting it for the day. You see all kind of crazy things on this board. I'm gonna go highest rate just to get an idea what's going on out here. So this is what we got. Cedar Rapids, Port Everglades, Florida. Now, this is a very strong rate, so it's something to this load here. It's a 5 sharp. There's something to this load here. This is a very strong rate. Especially at 22,000 pounds. Let me see what Port Everglades is. I want to say that down towards Miami. Port Everglades. Port Everglades. Florida. Let's see what comes up. Yep, down towards Miami. That's still a very good rate. I assure you all day long, that's a very good rate. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to watch that load. So it's going to highlight green. If it's a place I don't typically go to, like Washington, I could just move to the right and it's done. I'll go to Cali, it's done. So this is what I typically do. If I don't go to them places, I just remove them. Then I refresh. Spend a lot of time in this load board. Shit, most of my days and nights are in this load board here. It's a very good load. It's with Swift, so yeah, that's a whole nother story. But Swift and Knight's pretty much the same. They done merged. But that's a very good load. And I usually, again, look from the highest rates down. Once I done finish looking from the highest rates down, I go to the smallest deadhead. And I just pretty much work like that. And as you see, this is Rice City, Missouri. This is a load of, more than likely, this is Coca-Cola products. And what happens here is that's going to Colorado. And you guys remember that one rate that I told you could get almost $3,000 easily to go over, $3,000 plus to go to Utah. And this was going shorter miles to Colorado. And you see that it's already at 2,900. So it just plays to know your lane. Pays. I can't stress this. Know your lane. Know what's moving around you. I don't care. There's times I may be booked up already for the week. And guess what? I'm still on this load board. Strong, hard. Every damn day I'm watching this lane. And I'm going to tell you why that pays off. Because there's going to be situations to where you're going to see a load that pays $2,000 going 300 miles and it working your lane. And it would just so happen to come on the day that you're not on your lane. It always happens like that. When you're off your lane, here comes this spectacular load that just popped up. So you need to stay on top of your lane. I tell you to treat it like a corner board. Don't nothing move on your lane or on your block unless you allow it to move. You get what I'm saying? It sounds like a strong statement, but I want to stress to you that this is your lane. Yeah, these may be this broker's loads, and these may be this shipper commodity and so forth and so on, but it's your lane, damn it. So you own your lane. So anything that moves on your lane, you need to know about it. And if a great rate is coming by, and it's happening on your lane, you need to be the first one that they call you on. You get what I'm saying here? So again, here go this load here. I just turned this load down for $3,000. So this is a General Mills to a Super Value, I believe, out there in Aurora, Colorado. And I know I could get this for $3,000. So I'm gonna save that. That's one of my lane. This is my lane here. That's one of the lanes I run. So but again, nothing moves around your lane without your knowledge. And just to give you guys a quick story. All right, there was I was off my lane. I was somewhere in Ohio. And it was going from St. Louis, Missouri to Maquoketa, Iowa. That's my lane. Again, you always hear me say St. Louis, so I'm usually St. Louis, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Ohio, so forth, so on. It's within my range. A 300-mile radius of my where I'm based out of is my lane. So anything that moves in between there and around there, I need to know about it. Period. So like, and jump off story quick. This is C.H. Robinson. I can tell you they ain't gonna pay shit on this. I mean, absolutely nothing. It's just not gonna even be worth. I won't even bother calling them. You know, it's just that. That's just that's just C.H. Robinson for you, man. But anyway, back to the story. So I was off my lane, and I got off my lane, and I saw this load pop up. It was $2,000 or so, $2,100, and I go, whoa, to go on my lane, and that lane pays about $1,200. That's good money. So the thing is, they want to drop trailers, so which it wasn't a problem for me. I had a trailer, it wouldn't be a problem at all. So it dropped from 24 to 48 hours, and usually when you drop a trailer, I'm sorry, I'm always trying to put in St. Louis. That's just my go-to. But typically when you drop a trailer, what ends up happening is essentially, man, you get paid more for that load because they're going to be tying your trailer up for so many days. So typically it's going to pay a hell of a lot more. So that's why that was $2,100. It was literally damn near $800 over, $900 over what that lane typically calls for on a regular dry load. So I called the broker up. I said, hey, I need you to, I said, I see you got this load over here. And I said, running from St. Louis, Missouri, or Edwardsville, Illinois to Maquoketa, Iowa. And I see you got it for this price. I said, I'm not in the area right now, but at any time you get any of these loads, that is my lane. Call me first. I'll work with you on it, you know. And if you're at 2,100, I might end up going down to 19 or $2,000. Either way, I'm winning. It's my lane. It's gonna get me to the house. It's an easy lane. And so long story short, she ended up calling me back about a week or two, about 2-3 weeks later, and she had 5 of them loads, and I ran all of them. So that's the importance about staying and watching your lane and keeping your lane value at a good rate, because you will have other people come in and work your same lane for way less money. Now, I've had that happen to me too many times to count. I've been pissed too many times to count over that. And that's not bad at all. This is a really good rate. Please call to book. That's a really good one. So I'm gonna save this one. I usually screenshot from my driver something good and send to him because this is his lane. That's not bad at all. But at any rate, I didn't have that happen to me too many times to count, and it's just hell of annoying, you know, because you'll build a lane up, and before you know it, somebody then just work that lane back down. What I do is I move around. I just and I'll show you a lane of mine that I used to run. I had this lane up to almost $1,000. St. Louis. It was actually O'Fallon. Okay, let's go 150. And right now is, as you can see, Chicago to Moberly. That's not quite it. Let's see. This would be the closest to it right now, 700. This lane started at about, I want to say about $600 or so. I had this lane up to about $1,100 easily. And man, someone just came in and started running them for way less. Even the broker that I worked with on the regular was stunned by it. He's like, man, we could hardly ever get these lane covered. And now, you know, here's somebody coming in and running this lane for like way under cost. You know, even he was lost on it. He's like, I don't get it. I was running them non-stop all day long about 2 years ago, and nobody wanted to go up there and run that shit. Nobody. They had a hard time getting that lane covered, and it just it was nuts, man. I still get mad over that, and it happened to me multiple times. What the hell is going on here? I'm gonna start a new search here. It happened to me multiple times after that also. So to the point where I just move off the lane. I said that they could afford to move that shit for that cost, by all means, to go ahead and let them. I wasn't going to sit up there and go back and forth and run that shit for even cheaper. And so I moved away, and I found me another lane. And somebody got on that lane, and I found me another lane. And it just keeps happening and happening and happening over and over. This is the market. This is what you're dealing with, the spot market, as up top say, when you're living off the land. You know, so here we go here. But that's the importance of having your lane. And when I'm saying lane, understand, like I said, it should be within a 300-mile radius. So I'm going to show you my lane. So this is my lane. You should be able to drive your lane there and back and have enough hours to do that. You should have a couple of different ways to your lane to get to go your lane. So I could go this route, or I could go this route. All right. And on that lane, again, this is going to take me about 4.5 hours to run this lane easily. All right. Now on this lane, I know where every way station is. Why? Because it's my business to know what them damn things are. You guys call them way stations. I call them toll booths. I try to stay the hell out of paying tolls as much as possible. You get caught up in the way stations, you're going to end up paying a toll. So I know a way around every damn way station on my lane. I could pull something a little heavy. I could pull something light. It doesn't matter. If I need to get around them, I can get around them because this is my lane and I know a way around them. Going up and coming back. All right. Same with here. Going to what is it? Vandalia, Ohio. This is my lane also. So again, I don't take these loads often, but this is my lane and I know a way around all of them. And when I get to Indy, right around here, I may not know it that well, but I got my driver, his lane is around all of Indy, so he's going to be able to tell me. I'm gonna call him up, hey, how do I get around this, that, and other, so forth and so on. Do I bypass them often? Not really, not really at all. But if I need to, I know how to, and that's just pretty much what it is. And but that should be your lane. You should have a lane with about 250 miles. And why? Because it don't take it. Just take my opinion. Drivers take my advice, and it don't require. It just doesn't require that much to make it out here and to get a good commanding rate. You don't have to go full OTR all the time. It's gonna balance out. It's gonna balance out. And I can tell you one reason it's gonna help you out if you're on your lane and you have a breakdown or some sort. You're gonna have a mechanic that's close by. You're not gonna get gouged by the TAs and so forth and so on. You get where I'm coming from. So that being said, this might be a round trip though. Need team, air ride, E-Tracks, team required. Okay, they just went this straight through. That's still not terrible at all. So that's not bad at all. But, so see, you're gonna start seeing a lot more teams come up right this time of the year because peak mail is coming. That's a whole nother topic. So teams gonna be heavy demand. So but know your lane, know everything that moves on your lane. Don't nothing move on your lane without your knowledge. All right. You're gonna know the shippers, you're gonna know the receivers, you're gonna know the given rate for your lane. You're gonna stay on your lane because it's the damn law. You understand? You stay on your lane unless somebody pays you better to jump off. So for instance, I'm gonna run my lane and I know that I'm gonna average anywhere from 800 to 1,000 a day. Period. You know, running 60 to 240 miles. I could get 800, or I could get 850, or I could get 1,000. It just depends. But either way, that's my lane. And if a broker got something on my lane, I know of it because they're gonna typically call me first. Hey, we got this. Do you want to do this? And then I'm gonna pass, and I might pass, and I say, no, you let somebody else run that one. I'm good. You know, but didn't I tell you Vandalia was one of my lanes? So let's see what we got here. I just want to see XPO. What did I tell you that it typically pays? About 1,500. Did I tell you that? So but again, this is my lane, so I should know what it should get me on a given day, because this is my lane. Now I don't even have to go this far to get this rate. I could get 15 leaving right from the house, so I don't have to deadhead to go get that. But again, it's my lane. So and your lane is your lane. You work your lane, you stay on your lane, and you're going to be more successful working your lane. And like I said, if somebody wants you to get off your lane, and the broker going to say, well, it's paying $3 a mile, you're going to say, okay, yeah, I could get $3 a mile on my damn lane. Only way you're going to get me off my lane is because you're going to be giving me an offer that I can't refuse. Okay, so that's the only way. We're going to go into the truck stop now. So if they give you an offer that you can't refuse, then by all means run that load. But you should be making enough money to where if something happens with your truck, you should be able to pay for that and still come out like and make a profit. You know, let's say you blow 2 tires, running that lane, or you get a ticket or whatever for $1,000, so forth, so on. It doesn't matter. You made enough money to where you could pay that, and you still clear a profit. So that and them should be the only time that you should leave your lane. And most brokers gonna understand. You're gonna say, hey, this is where I drive. I drive from St. Louis to Iowa every day. There's no real reason for me to leave that lane. If I quote you a price, you're not gonna like it, you know, because I just stay on my lane typically. But and most of them gonna understand. They're gonna say, yeah, I understand. They're gonna say, well, what did it take you to get off of it, you know, to get off your lane? And I'm gonna tell them usually it's gonna be close to between $4 and $5 a mile. So it's not going to be anything that they're going to be used to paying. But if they want me to run it, I will run it for that. Now, if I got bills or something coming up and I need to make a quick 3-4 grand, then I might step off my lane just because I need to make that payment, or so forth and so on. So you know, for things like that. So, you know, it just is again, it's the law. Stay on your damn lane. You know, stay in your lane, stay on your lane. That's the best advice I can give you. So and it's gonna pay off. I promise you. Cousin and I used to drill that in my head often, and it took me a long while to figure it out that it just paid to stay on my damn own lane and work my lane and find a lane. It seemed so damn hard. It seemed so hard in the beginning when I was trying to find lanes. I remember talking to Cass and like, man, I don't understand this lanes and how these lanes work and this, that, and the other and so forth and so on. But once you get in it and get to looking and browsing and stuff like that and get to moving loads on the often, and then you get a load that you like, go ahead and make note of that, you know, and let that broker know, hey, add me to your email list. And they will. And they're going to add you to their email list, and before you know it, you know, they're going to be calling you anytime they get something on that particular lane and so forth and so on. So you know, it just stay in your lane, drive. That's the best advice I can give you. Stay in your damn lane, don't move. You know, that's the law. If they need you to move, then they gonna have to pay, period. And I even put it when I post my truck, no Texas, no Cali, no this, that. And when they call me anyways, I say, yeah, I could quote you a price, but you're not gonna like it, you know. And typically they won't like it. You know, but you'd be surprised how often they take that price that I quote them. So you'd be surprised. So you get, and it just give you that much more negotiation powers too, because it's like, now if they want your truck, then they gonna have to pay that damn rate. You know what I'm saying? So and especially if it ain't that many trucks in the area. And you could check one of my previous load boards. I show you guys how you can go and check, see how many trucks is in your area, so forth and so on. You know. So let's see what else we got here. I'm just browsing real quick just to get. I scroll through this a hell of a lot faster than what I'm doing now. Usually it's like that, but this is usually how I browse it. And if I see something that looks tempting, I may back up. So, but that's my lane. Let's see here. Let's do a new search. Let's do Atlanta. And this video gonna be so damn long. I apologize, drivers, but again, I'm giving you the best information I can give you. I'm gonna do any equipment. I'm gonna just do a search. North Carolina to Washington. I don't know what equipment this is. This might be a flatbed or something. Van air ride. Drop trailer at shipper for 4 days. Need 5 to 10 load bars and straps. So usually when you see something for a really good strong rate, it's usually something going on with that, you know. So, and that's why I remember I told you they could probably get this lane covered for $5 grand easily, but you know, because you got to drop that trailer, that they're paying more. And you see what they get. See, it's just essentially the same load right here. And they're going for what I told you that the market should be for that. Greenfield, That's probably a round trip for the 33. I'm trying to think of what else I could tell you guys. Boom, 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 boom. These are just, again, I'm just showing you guys average rates on an average day on a Sunday before the week start. And like I said, these rates are subject to obviously change, but this is what we typically looking at. Put it to you like that, instead of just showing you guys always the outstanding rates during the peak market. I want to show you guys what you up against on just an average day. So this is truck stop load board. What I do like about truck stop load board is I can do this here. I'm gonna do Davenport, Iowa. I can search within 300 miles, and then I could do this for destination. And I believe whatchamacallit just started adding this too. I could just do a search by regions, or I could do a search by states. So I'm gonna go region and hit done and do van. And we're just gonna do a search from there. This is one of the better features that I like about the Truck Stop app. What I don't care for is they don't have a lot of the pricing up, but some of my best loads have came off of the Truck Stop app, and some of the best loads don't necessarily have the price on them, you know. So it's like once I get done browsing what's top, then I turn around and I go and browse via I may browse via, let's say, deadhead miles. That'd be a good way that I would typically browse. So, and then if I see something within my lane, I save it, or I end up calling them right then and there on it. And that's the truck stop load board. It's, you know, the rates are going to be pretty, you know, it's the same loads that you would see on the DAP load board, which I showed you guys. It's not that much different. It's just you might have a few different brokers who've been using truck stop, and you may see their loads on here that you may not see on the DAT, but it just depends. So let's see here. Let's change this to payment. You know you guys want to see rates, so I just want to show you guys all the ones with the rates, and change it. What's this one here? This seems like a really good strong rate. What's going on here? Over with load. Alright. What kind of equipment? Flatbed. So it's a flatbed, F for flatbed. It's a damn good right there. It's another decent rate. It's an RGN load here, California to Texas, $7,000. It's a reefer. R is for reefer, F is for flatbed, V for van, so forth and so on. And we could browse all damn day long, and trust me, I do just that. So in short, Showed you guys the truck stop load board, DAT load board, the Coyote load board, Uber Freight, Convoy, whatever for CH Robinson. Same thing with JB Hunt, not that big of a deal. And I showed you guys the XPO load board. I do have another load board with TQL. I don't use it. I just don't use it. You know, it's not a TQL is Stalkers. I don't necessarily care for them. I just don't care for them. A lot of their freight is, I just don't care for TQL. You know, cousin love them. I can't stand them. I've had some good brokers on here, but if I didn't run across a bad broker, guess where it didn't came from? Usually, almost always TQL. So I don't care for them at all. I do run loads for them, but typically they're gonna pay me, or it's just because they got a load that I need to get somewhere that I need to go. But I will tell you guys this about TQL: when they send you over a Raycon, if they don't send you the carrier and driver instructions with it, that load is not your load until you get the carrier and driver instructions. With that rate confirmation from TQL, it is not your load, period. So they could pull that load for you, not pay you a tow, new truck order, not use fee. Trust me, how do I know this? You know, you get what I'm saying? So they can do these types of things, and they say, oh, well, we never gave you the carrier driver instruction. You didn't book this load and had your load tied up, truck tied up for a whole 24, 48 hours, so forth, so on, but thinking that you're going to run that load, and then you don't get that load. And so, you know, get the carrier and driver instructions if you're going to be messing with TQL. Make sure that you get that. They are one of the only brokers that do that. And when you're booking a load with them, you better make damn sure that you're on top of your P's and Q's. I got my shout out to Lucas. What he does is he take a cash advance, so he know that at least he's getting half of his money right off the back, because he didn't have them do stupid stuff with him. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the last load board that I gotta show you guys is the Amazon, but I have to go over to my computer for that. Stay tuned.